Welcome Wargamers to another SBG video. You are here with your channel host Chris, and I'm bringing you the second video in our 3-day special reviewing the SBG magazines. If you haven't seen the first review already, the review of issue 1 that came out yesterday, so if you haven't already, go and check that out and see what and hear what I think about that issue. Today we will be reviewing the second issue, and then look out on the channel tomorrow because I will have a review of issue 3 up for watching. But today we are reviewing number 2 of the SBG magazine, or fanzine as it's also called, a Middle-earth fanzine by the fans for the fans. Now the fans that made these magazines are of course Damien Byrne and Tom Harrison. Also known from the GBHL YouTube channel. And this issue was released last year. That's about a year old. It came out in spring 2015. And has been, it was very highly anticipated because a lot of people really enjoyed the first issue. Now they do write in here, at the time of writing at least, a limited number of copies of SBG Issue 1 are available. And then you can go on and see how to get hold of them. However, you have to contact sbgmagazine@gmail.com. I believe they still have a few left of issue 1, and most certainly also of issue 2. But in this review, I'll just be going over the different articles in the magazine and let you know what I think of them, if I have any comments, and so on and so forth. I have made a few notes just so I can remember to say everything that I want to say, so excuse me if I look away from the screen once in a while. However, this will be a great opportunity for you to get your brushes out, your paints, and paint up a few models while I do this video, which I think will roughly take about 15-20 minutes. So if you are ready to paint, I am ready to review, so we can get started. So in issue 2, of course we start off by having an editorial where they actually mentioned that this magazine consists of 22,000 words, which is an insane amount of words. However, crazy as it sounds, you will always be wanting more, and that's also the feeling that I have had after reading this magazine. Spoiler alert. After the editorial, we do get the table of contents, and then we jump right into the first article called Tom's Top 10. Now, Tom's Top 10 is where the author, Tom Harrison, and creator of the magazine, he takes a mathematical approach to discovering which heroes are most underpointed. If you haven't watched the video that I put up yesterday, in issue 1 he investigated the most undercosted warriors. So it's a great follow-up, and a great way of kind of linking the magazines together. And as you can also see, it says here, undercosted heroes, part, if the light will allow it, it says part 1. So spoiler alert, there'll probably be a part 2 in issue 3. Now, he goes to great lengths about actually explaining his mathematical approach, how it all works, and how he came up with everything, and has assigned points values to each characteristic, so to speak, in a stat line. However, it's also clear that things aren't always black and white, and conclusion can therefore not be completely final, so to speak. You know, there's great argumentation for why one should take, why one shouldn't take this as gospel, basically. And he explains very well why things don't always can't be perceived as being absolute. However, he does come with some great suggestions for different heroes, their point values, how much they should cost according to their stat line or stat lines, as well as how much you actually pay for them. And I can reveal that the most unappointed hero is about 80 points too cheap. However, if you want to know who that hero is, I suggest you get your hands on the magazine, because I will not be revealing in this video. There's got to be some enjoyment for you for when you actually pick this up. After Tom's article, Tom's Top 10, we go into my favorite article in issue 1 and issue 2 again, which is the Doctor's Corner. The Doctor's Corner is it's just like in issue 1, where Damien has penned an incredibly well-written article, which allows the reader to sort of peek into his personal life as a wargamer. And he describes what it's like to connect with fellow wargamers, people who he has never met and who he then, so to speak, meets and then becomes friends with. However, he also entertains the thought of whether the so to speak, bonds you form with people at, for example, tournaments, whether the people that you see relatively often can actually be considered close friends, despite you perhaps, see them relatively often, talking or messaging with them on a regular basis. And I don't want to tell you exactly why he has this thought debacle, so to speak, but it is really a great read, and I find great pleasure in reading the Doctor's Corner. So after the Doctor's Corner and Damien's thoughts and opinions, we go into a piece written by a non-creator of the magazine. His name's Kieran Street. He's known for the Great British Hobbit League scene. He has attended a lot of tournaments over in England, and he has written a piece called Of Fluff and Fury. Now, Of Fluff and Fury, he discusses the theme of an army, and he kind of distinguishes between the two ultimates, the two extremes, which are fluff and filth, basically. So it's, you have two ultimates. So either it's very fluffy, which is a great theme, done just for the sake of having the great theme, or filth, which is completely competitive and no consideration has been taken according to comply with theme. And he gets around the topic of theme very, very well, and ultimately he ties the conclusion in with the title of the article, which, he has then a great red thread, so to speak, throughout the entire article, which makes it a really great enjoyment to read, because it's all connected. And I agree with a lot of the points he makes, so naturally that will make me enjoy the article much more, since I agree with it, so I can just sit there and nod my head as I read along. However, I do see a missed opportunity, so to speak, because you do have the two extremes, fluff and filth, and there's also the infamous sliding scale between them, where when something becomes either fluffy or filth, and what can be considered fluff or filth, and I think there's a sliding scale in between that kind of goes in hand with the sliding scale when proxying, that I think could have been well received. It could have been an interesting aspect of it. Of course, Kieran only has a limited amount of space, basically, in the magazine that he can actually use up, so naturally he would probably have to prioritize, and I think he did right in perhaps not including that, considering what has already been written. However, I would have liked to see that article a little bit longer, and perhaps touching up on some of those things. Next up, we have a new article, another article even, where if you are the type of person who likes a scenario with a grand cinematic feel to them, then this article is for you. Now, this is written by Damien, and Damien has written a custom scenario recreating the Battle of Azanulbazar, known from the first Hobbit film, where you see Thor and Thrain and Thorin all fighting alongside together, along with, of course, Balin and Dwalin, and how they are defeating Azog, and he retreats back into Moria. That battle has now been created as a custom scenario, and it looks awesome. It's just basically a 4 pages of scenario rules, all the special rules, the layout, starting position, everything is in there. All the information that you need in order to play this scenario has been put in the magazine. And he even went to great length and penned 4 brand new profiles to represent characters at the time of the Battle of Azanulbizar, which was in the year 2799 of the Third Age, if I remember correctly. You will be needing, let's see what I counted, 29 models. They're all listed in this box here. 29 models on each side, so 29 for good and 29 for evil, in order to recreate this this battle. There are some brand new profiles, so you'll be needing some already created models, but using the new profiles that Damien has created. Then you can play this out on your home table. If you would like to know more about the so to speak, customization, but also discover which 4 profiles did Damien create. Once again, I'm not going to reveal it. I think you should have the enjoyment for yourself when actually reading the magazine. So you can find out by going and getting SBG Issue 2. After that, we jump into another article. Now this is Tactica, written by rules expert Sam Page. He's known for always being available on the GBHL Facebook group. Whenever somebody has a rule inquiry, something they're not sure about, Sam is the expert. He knows everything, and he's actually insanely fast at responding and clearing up any rules questions, which is great to have. It's like a hotline for all of us, all war gamers playing this, and I've taken advantage of it a little bit too much, I think, sometimes, especially when I first started getting back into the hobby. So Sam is he knows all about the rules, and he's an avid gamer. So I think it's cool to have him write a piece on tactics. Now, in this Tactica article, he is writing about Azog's hunters. Now, the article is truly greatly written. Unfortunately, Azog's hunters isn't one of my favorite armies. I don't collect them, but it was still a great read because Sam has successfully described both the advantages and the disadvantages of the different troop types, but also the heroes in the army list. And even though I don't collect the models, and I'm not intending on playing an Azog's Hunters army list at any point in time, it is a great read for me as well, because then I, too, can see how an opponent would use the army, and I will then, of course, be able to figure out how to counter whatever great strengths the army list has. And regarding the heroes, he also mentions what each hero is good for. For example, if I remember correctly, there's one of the heroes who carries a bow. However, you might actually want to just throw him in combat and use the bow as a second option, basically, when you can't be thrown into combat. So yeah, it is a great read, and he goes about a lot of the models. There's a lot mentioned in here. And then he concludes it all in a very, very neat, short bullet point list. 4 bullet points for positives and 2 for negatives. And it really just goes about explaining why the list is so much fun to use while still being competitively effective. So, a great read as well. Then we go into a battle report. And now the battle report is on the custom scenario that Damien wrote, the Battle of Azanulbizar. And in the battle report, Damien and Sam, the creator of this custom scenario and the or author of the Tactica piece, they are battling it out using the Army of Thor and, of course, the orcs of Gundabad. Now, this, I gotta say, it's really stunning how better I find not just the article is just greatly written as in issue 1. However, in this piece, it is really, really obvious that they've had the an option, or they've opted at least to have some really, really cool photos taken, professionally taken, it seems. The entire article comes together much nicer now that they have some really cool looking photos. I'll try to find a picture here that's not too spoilerific, so to speak. However, like, if you look at that picture, that's cool. And if you look at that one, oh, see, not blocking the light there. That picture, that's cool. And that's the quality of photos that is throughout the entire battle report, which makes it so much more fun to read, because you have not just a greatly written article, but you have photos, really, really cool photos to go along with it. It is really a crazy battle. There's a lot happening right from the get-go, right from turn 1. Major things happen in turn 4 that kind of turns the game in one favor. You have it going back and forth. It's really, really great read. It was a lot of fun. It's literally a page turner, which is really, really much enjoyed because it goes on for 14 turns in total. And it's really nice. Tom, who wrote the article, he once in a while he comes with these little boxes saying "outside of opinion," wherein he mentions an observation he made while, of course, seeing this battle being played out, and so he could take all the notes for actually writing this article. And it's great to actually have a third opinion, a third person opinion on it. So it's a really, really great article, truly. And if the Doctor's Corner hadn't been in this magazine, the battle report would have been my favorite piece, I gotta say. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you how it all goes. You're going to have to get the magazine for that. But yeah, it's a great piece. Then we go into another painting masterclass. We had one in issue 1 where it was on white horses, and this time it is on Thror. Now, this is again a combo of or the duo Shadow and Flame, who are Kev Lawrence and Dave Fredericks, and they have gone together again to giving this painting masterclass for how to paint up Thror, so he can end up to look something like that. Not sure that my insanely bad lighting will do it any justice, but something along that. And you will be needing some paints from 2 different companies. You'll be using Games Workshop paints and Vallejo, I think it's pronounced, paints as well. Quite a few of them. However, if you look at the model, it is absolutely stunning. The paint job is awesome. So if you can just get hold of these paints, it'll make your model look absolutely stunning. And now, of course, following this tutorial of Painting Masterclass, there are 20 steps. So you're going to be learning quite a bit about how to paint and how to highlight and stuff. And this should really not be seen as just how to paint Thror. You'll be learning techniques, basically, on how to paint in general if you're not as great a painter, if you're perhaps me. I most certainly learned a bit about how to do different things to make them look cool and how to make the model pop a lot more than perhaps I normally would. What is really becomes obvious is it will take me personally a long time to make a model look this good, because I'm not only a bad painter, I'm also a slow painter. I understand that will change if you just keep practicing, keep painting. However, getting a model to this standard would take me a long time. So I'm not sure if I would do it for every model. However, for painting heroes, this is truly a great tutorial, so to speak, of how to go about certain things. So after Painting Masterclass, we get an article called Building Middle-earth. Now, this piece is written by Rick Fryer, who constructed he built and drew up you can see here, the terrain for the Bell Report. And he basically talks about in this 3 pages? Yeah, 3 pages about how he actually created it. And there are some great drawings. There are photos of the different stages, and basically it all follows, 11 points, so to speak, in time of how he created this, the gate in the Belt Report and the massive hills and so on and so forth. And it's really, really cool. I love the terrain. I think the terrain used in Belt Reports, whether it be on our channel, other channels, or in a written article, as in this case, I think the terrain has a lot to say, and really the terrain is what makes the game much more enjoyable to a certain extent. You can always have fun just with the models, but the terrain really just gives it that little cherry on top, so to speak. And so I think it's great to also have a tutorial on how to create some awesome terrain, because it is absolutely awesome. I don't know, have you seen that picture? That is stunning. So follow this tutorial and you can create terrain like that. And of course, once again, just like in Painting Masterclass, you'll be learning techniques on how to create terrain, so which you can apply to creating terrain in general and not just in this specific instance, which I think is really great. It's really cool. Yeah. So okay. Next up, we have basically again a duo, so to speak, because Painting Masterclass was written by Kev, and now the other half of the duo, of course, Dave Fredericks, being the sculptor of the duo, he has created a custom ASOC just for this issue. Now, I've been flicking the magazine up once in a while and showing you a few photos. I don't know if you've noticed anything, but look at ASOC on the front cover. That's not a standard model. That's a custom model that was created just for this issue, just for this magazine, which I think is awesome. And Dave Fredericks did that job. And you can see he basically, I'm just going to cover something up here. That might be a little bit of a spoiler. You can see there, so to speak, the three, some photos of, this is really not working out well. There we go, much better. You see there how he basically had ASOC look at the end, because you will see that he has both of his arms. Nothing has been cut off, and there's even a great photo of Damien posing as how he would like ASOC to look, and yeah, it made me laugh when I saw it. It was really great. Yeah, so Dave Fredericks talks about how he went about resculpting ASOC, as well as painting the paint job on ASOC as well. Notably, also on the second page of Arming ASOC article is Damien, who he did a small conversion as well on the one of the Dwarven heroes, just to make it a little bit more historical, I'll always say, almost say. It will make sense when you read it. But yeah, he did a custom job on a dwarven hero, and that is also in there on how he did that. And so, lastly, we have some hobby block, just a hobby block page, right there. And the hobby block page is featuring 6 people: Damien, Tom, Sam, Kieran, Dave, and Rick. And they were just going about talking about what are they actually up to at the time of, I presume, just before releasing this magazine. And lastly, there is a page about supporting SBG, right there. Naturally, it is all about how you can get hold of the magazine, because not only can you, of course, purchase this at the absolute steal price of, I believe it is it £10? I think inside the UK, 13 out in Europe, and 15 rest of the world. That is, of course, one great way of actually supporting SBG, the duo Damien and Tom. However, if you would like to support them further, that is what this page is for, because they have a competition, and they do this for every single magazine. They have a competition where if you donate, is it £2? £2, you get an entry ticket in a raffle, so to speak, and you can win a prize. Naturally, this has already expired. However, I think it is a great way of doing it, and it's a great way of showing you guys, Damien and Tom, that you guys like this magazine, and you just want to continuously support them so they can keep creating these awesome magazines. Naturally, if within a certain amount of time, if you buy the magazine, the physical copy, for say £10, that will also give you some tickets in the raffle. That will give you, if my math serves, 10 tickets. Again, not sure about the price for the magazine, but I think it's £10, so that would give you 5 entry tickets, which I think is actually really cool. They didn't have to do that. They didn't have to make a raffle, and they didn't have to get hold of some prizes for you guys to win, but they did. And it's just a really, really cool little thing to have running to show the support for the SBG magazine. And then lastly, of course, on the back is a sponsor page. Awkward Battles have contributed by actually, I don't know how they've contributed to the magazine, but they do have an advert on the back. Of course, Awkward Battles is also run by is run by JT Noble, also known in the English community at least. And this one was an advert for a competition held on July 4th and Sunday, July 5th of 2015, where the first prize, famously, was Smaug, as you can see there. The winner of the tournament would win Smaug. I think that's the I think that's all the incitement I would ever need to attend a tournament to actually be able to win Smaug. Now I, of course, already have him, but it could be a great prize to have, and perhaps do something with someday. Giveaway, I don't know. But there we go. That is basically my review of issue 1. So just to touch upon the final notes, I really don't think there is a bad article in this magazine. There's no article that I didn't enjoy reading. Yes, of course, I have favorites. Everybody will have a favorite piece once they've written this magazine, but all of it is truly great. And compare this to issue 1. I must say, if you just look at the front cover, it's clear that the photos in issue 2 is better than in issue 1. I loved issue 1, and I think if you watch my video on it, you will also see that it'll become very clear. However, it's very obvious that issue 2 is an upgrade, and everything just works better. Particularly the photos made the magazine much more professional, so to speak. And it's really a great read, and I advise everybody to go and pick up issue 2 whilst you still can, whilst they still have some in stock. I think that will be it for my review of issue 2. Be sure to check back in tomorrow, which will be Monday the 9th of May, where my issue of issue 3 will be out. And I'll have that up probably until the evening, as I need to finish reading this. However, it is, you can expect that Monday 9th of May, the actual release date of the magazine. So, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Support your Hobbit hobby, and happy strategy battle gaming.